So it finished 1-0 at the King's Power, and it was a massive game for us because Leicester recently haven't been playing that badly, and more importantly we had to make sure we got the win so City didn't have any chance of going back above us, as the game in hand is so important for us and we have to keep winning and putting more and more pressure on Manchester City until they eventually drop points. This game, though, was just completely one-sided. I mean, Leicester had the odd chance here and then, well, throughout the game, but we just completely dominated, and we should have probably won about 2 or 3-0, but unfortunately, like I'm going to talk about in this video, there is a thing called VAR, and obviously they want Manchester City to win the league for like the billionth time. So not only are we playing against these teams that we're playing week in, week out, we're playing against them as well. Now, let's start with this Trossard goal. I mean, this was brilliant. I mean, what a signing he's been. And I'm going to talk about him more as the video goes on. But the finish into the top right corner, I think the past few weeks I've been talking to my mates and I've been saying I don't mind Nketiah. I'm not saying he's a bad player, but I think for Arteta, he just needs to switch it up a bit and bring in different players and give other players a rest just whilst he can, because I think Trossard is good up front. And he actually went with it today, and it surprised me that, because normally he's quite naive and he sticks with his main team, but he played Trossard, and I mean, what a goal it was, top right corner. And then obviously it got disallowed because Ben White was holding hands with Danny Ward. And to be honest, before this match I didn't actually know that holding hands with another player would be illegal. I didn't know that was something that was a rule in the Premier League that you wasn't allowed to do, because obviously I thought it's a contact sport. But what really gets on my nerves is when you're looking at that, do you not think that Danny Ward could just pull his arm away? It's not like Ben White's holding onto his hand and he can't move at all and he's completely stuck. Like, he could have just moved his hand away or pulled it away. And I mean, he got it away. Like, he punched the ball away. I don't think he really would have caught it, because he would have had Ben White and Barnes contesting with him. And we've seen in the past that Danny Ward is a bit dodgy, but he punched it away. He got the ball. I don't get what the foul is. But as I just said, if anyone wants to tell me that Danny Ward couldn't have just pulled his arm away, they can just do one, because it's so poor by the referees, and it's so harsh to give a foul just for that. I mean, there's got to be more to it. It can't just be that. But unfortunately, it went that way, and we've seen it throughout this season. Arsenal just getting stiffed by VAR and the officials. And as you can see, Mikel Arteta was not happy, and he was doing his arms and everything on the sideline, and rightly so, because it was just so poor and pathetic. I mean, I know a lot of people go, oh yeah, Arsenal fans are just complaining, but it appears throughout this season, does it not seem a bit suspicious why we're always the ones complaining? Because we've always got something to moan about, because every single week there's always a big decision to make with Arsenal, and it always goes against us. It's never with us. And again, another decision that went against us. How is this not a penalty? Now you can see, I think it was Suter, the number 15. He's marking Saka, and the ball's coming in, and he's got his arm around Saka's waist. Now, I played in defence, so I know this is something you do naturally do. You put your arm around their waist to try and keep with them so they don't get away from you. But as the ball has been played in, the number 15 has lost his footing, as you can see in the first image over to the left, and Saka's still on his feet, but he's obviously falling. And then in the second image, you can see Saka's gone down, because now obviously the number 15 is on his knees and he's completely dragged Saka down with him. Saka can't physically stay up because he's from behind. He doesn't know what's going on, and he's just lost his footing as well now. And it results in Saka not being able to get to the ball and completely falling over with the number 15. So people say that he went down too easily. There's no chance he's gone down too easy there. He's been pulled down from behind. And look, I'm not saying the number 15 has done this on purpose, but you can clearly see that he's lost his footing and took Saka down with him. That's 100% a penalty, and I think VAR have made another big mistake. Now, on to the positive. We did get our goal eventually in the second half, right at the beginning of the second half. And I mean, Martinelli's finish was absolutely brilliant. I mean, the placement was superb, and obviously he did get caught on the follow-up. I think it was by Amati, the number 25. He stamped on his knee. which I don't think was intentional. He wasn't really looking, so I'm not going to go too far into that. But what I want to talk about is the assist by Trossard. Now, he's out wide, he's showing off a bit, like showing his skills, doing a few step overs, and then he plays a lovely ball through for Martinelli. He ends up nutmegging the Leicester fullback, and it goes straight through for Martinelli, who's directly through on goal. And I mean, what a sign he's been. He's just been so much more better than that Mudryk guy who's apparently 100 mil. Yeah, Chelsea again messing up with their money. Now, I want to quickly touch up on how good our defence was today. I mean, Leicester didn't really have a lot, but when they did, our defence was just so good. And I mean, our defence gave us a platform throughout this entire game, which is obviously huge. And I mean, this duo of Gabriel and Saliba is just so good. And I mean, it's helped us throughout the entirety of the season. And I'm not only talking about them. Obviously, I spoke about Zinchenko in the last match reaction, but he's been absolutely brilliant. And I mean, either Tomiyasu or Ben White, which is normally Ben White, they've also been brilliant down the right. So, to finish off this match reaction, I just want to talk about Arteta again. Obviously, like I said at the beginning of the video, I think him bringing in Trossard was just absolutely brilliant, playing him down the middle like we've seen at Brighton, and I think we needed it, and to give Eddie a well-deserved break. Though I think Nketiah will be sitting on the bench a little bit longer as well, because I've heard Jesus might be ready to play against Everton or the game after, but obviously Arteta didn't want to take a risk of playing him today, but he has passed all these medical tests, which is obviously huge news for us. But yeah, Arteta just did brilliant today, he got it absolutely right, and as we can see, I mean, Leicester just wasn't prepared for us in the way we played, and we absolutely dominated the game. And, I mean, going forward, I've seen a lot of people saying we should just scrap the Europa League, and I don't think Arteta will look at it that way, but personally for me, I think we should still go for the Europa League, because if we do mess up the Premier League, then we've got something to fall back on. And I know a lot of people are saying you're only playing the Europa League really to get Champions League, and we've obviously already got it, so we don't need to play for it. But I think at the end of the day, it's still a European trophy, and it'd be absolutely huge if we can win it, and a massive confident boost for the entire team. But I do get what people are saying, and if we do want to keep it up and have the best chance of keeping all our players fit, it could be a good idea. But yeah, that's it for the video, and we'll be back with Everton.